I'm sure you're going to be asked about this to the high heavens, but what are you more excited for people to see? You and Skeet reuniting in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 or Stu's return in Scream 7? What do you think people are going to be more excited
Keith
about?
in Five Nights at Freddy's?
Hi, Matthew. My name is Thomas from OneTakeNews. How are you today?
Good, Thomas. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I grew up on your movies. I grew up on Scream and Scooby-Doo. So some of those movies mean the world to me. And Life of Chuck means the world to me. I saw it at the TIFF screening that you were at, and I saw it again yesterday for the first time in 9 months, and it hits just as hard. So thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I absolutely love this movie.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that TIFF screen was pretty crazy, right?
It was hard to get tickets to, man. Everyone wanted to see it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's every now and then like I have these moments in my life where I remember that where I was when I saw a film. Like I remember where I was when I saw the Titanic. I remember where I was I saw like Blair Witch Project. I was like, I'll never forget that. I will never forget that screening at TIFF. I feel like when the movie ended, like like in between the act breaks, like the silence was palpable. Like you could feel the energy in the room
For
and the
sure.
ovation was crazy. Like I just felt I'll never forget that experience.
I'm really happy to hear that, man. That was one of the most powerful experiences of my life. So I'm happy you guys feel the same. And I want to talk a bit about that. Where you say you remember where you were when you saw certain movies. Not really that, but is there a reaction you remember hearing? You've been to a lot of screenings for this movie now. Has someone come up to you and said something about this movie that has really stuck with you?
That's a good question. No, not really. I mean, look, I feel like here's the reality. I feel like when people walk out of the movie, they're sort of like overwhelmed,
Mhm.
right? I feel like the movie has the potential. I'm not saying it's going to happen for everyone when they sit in the theater, but the reality is that movie has the potential to move people. And so a lot of times I just like sort of like you sort of I don't know. It's like you I try to give people space.
Mhm.
And so yeah, so no, not really. I mean, look, I've seen it twice. That's not true. I've seen it three times now. So the first time I just watched myself and I was, trying to figure out the film like everyone else. The second movie, I was like sort of obsessed with the Toronto experience. And then the premiere was Monday. And Monday was the first movie I could really sit in the dark and let the movie affect me. And
Mhm.
I had like sort of this magical moment on this last Monday in terms of the film, like really, kicking me in the heart.
Yeah, it definitely has that effect. For my money, Mike Flanagan is the best horror filmmaker working today. He just doesn't miss. And something I love about is he has this recurring group of cast members. And now with your casting in Carrie, congratulations on that, by the way. I consider you part of the Flanafam, his frequent group of collaborators. And now that you've seen him work, what's the biggest thing that has stuck out to you that's made you realize why people want to keep working with him no matter how many times they've done it with him?
Well, first of all, in this business of chaos, like having somebody, like having a home base, having a fam, right? I mean, that to me is the greatest gift of all.
Mhm.
So having somebody that wants you time and again is like so so rewarding. It's ridiculous. That's number one. But working with him specifically, he is somebody that's committed, has crazy energy. He has the entire, we just Carrie started rehearsal yesterday. His entire television, it's 8 episodes, is completely shot listed. Every script's written. Like we're rehearsing. We're 10 days out from shooting. We're all rehearsing together. All of us are in every rehearsal. So the idea, the thoroughness, his attention to detail, his energy, and his ability to have really clear ideas of what he wants, and there's freedom within that form, is exactly what an actor wants. You want to know you're supported, but you want to know that if you bring your like if you bring what makes you you to the part, that it will be celebrated. And so I think that for my money, whether it's horror, whether it's something like whatever it is, he's as good as it gets for sure.
That's insane to hear. Like, I'm really happy to hear you're having that experience, but having all that ready 10 days up from shooting, that's borderline unheard of, especially the shot list. Like, that's
Oh,
just, that's crazy.
it's not borderline unheard of. It's just unheard of.
Look, man,
Sorry, it's can you hear that in the background?
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, let's give it a sec. I mean, I'm in Vancouver right now, so it's
I'm in
all
Toronto, man. So perfect. It's glad to see
yeah.
you in
Dude,
Canada.
Toronto is we just shot I just shot across there. Toronto is a great city.
I'm really happy.
Toronto.
It's a beautiful place. I'm really happy to hear you enjoyed your time here. You might not be in this movie for long, but Gus is such an important character. You lay out so much exposition to explaining what's happened to this world, and it kind of correlates with a lot with what's going on in the real world. Like we're not really taking care of our environment the best. That's kind of been known for a while now, and we kind of see what it could look like if we keep going down the path we're going. And knowing that these lines could be very real someday, did it hit you in a different way when you read them for the first time?
No, not really. I mean, the reality is that you're reading the script, you're trying to figure it out as you're reading. I mean, if you can imagine, you're starting on Act Three, you go to Act Two, Act One. The movie's told in reverse for people that don't know. So reading the script was like anything I'd ever experienced before because I had no idea, what the hell's going on, and then you finally figure it out as it goes through. So it's not until you sort of get into the work of Gus and working on the text that I had, working on how I bring my humanity to this part, and sort of finding my way into, like you said, I mean, he's laying out how the world's falling apart. So it's a lot of sort of explaining, and trying to find something human in that was sort of the challenge of the part, right? You have a job to do. I'm going to paint this picture, but then trying to find my humanity in it. And lucky enough, I got a chance to on the day, good things happened.
For sure, for sure. Something else I love about this movie is its storytelling format. It's in reverse order. I'm curious, if someone makes a movie called The Life of Matt, what are three moments you want to see in that movie told in any order you want from your life?
So yeah, so my death is gonna come in a heroic manner. They're gonna send my body out on a burning pyre, on a Viking pyre into a lake. So that's the first thing. It's gonna be so
I
exciting.
love that.
The second thing is just towards the latter half of my career, I win an Academy Award. I'm the first actor in the history of cinema to win three in one Academy Awards ceremony, which will be incredible. Best actor, best supporting actor, and
Best
best
supporting actress.
best supporting actress. Yes, thank you. God, that was good. And then the first thing is, having this obese teenager who had a learning disability and felt lost and was scared to death of his own future. Find a career and a life that was full and beautiful and really blessed.
I hope some studio exec sees this interview and they're like, oh shit, we got to make that like within the next few years. I hope that
Unfortunately,
happens. To further on that a bit, the idea of telling a story in reverse chronological order, is there a character that you've played whose story you would like to see told in that format?
um, not really. No, no, that's not. I mean, I feel like, look, I mean, I think of iconic characters I've had. Scooby, obviously playing Shaggy. Nobody needs that story. Nobody needs to see Shaggy get old. He will be a meddling teenager forever. Stu, I mean, I'm doing Scream 7, obviously, so maybe we get a piece of that. I mean, maybe it's Stu as an old man coming back. And yeah, totally possible. And then yeah, but then like other characters, like nobody wants to see what Todd Maniac Marshall from Wing Commander is doing, right? I mean, you have to have a really iconic character.
For sure.
You turn it backward to be looking at like if I was Dumbledore, yes, I am not Dumbledore.
Hey, look, man, if John Lithgow decides to drop out of the HBO show, Matthew
Listen,
as
I am
Dumbledore,
available. I am available.
I hope you would be. And just one more thing before I go, you got a lot of great things coming up, and I'm sure you're going to be asked about this to the high heavens. But what are you more excited for people to see? You and Skeet reuniting in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 or Stu's return in Scream 7? What do you think people are going to be more excited
He's
about?
in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, it's been out there that Skeet's in Five Nights at Freddy's. That's why.
Is he?
Apparently, he's in Five
Is
Nights at
that out
Freddy's.
there? I don't. Is
That's what it
that
says
out
on the.
there?
That's what it says on the cast list.
It does.
Yeah, yeah, it's been reported for a
Oh,
couple months.
oh yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know they announced it. Yes. I am, as you can imagine, a political creature by nature and love both franchises, and I can't wait for people to see both films. I do think, look, the reality is that I think that Five Nights at Freddy's is going to blow the doors off of one. I think the movie's going to be really fantastic.
For
I think it's
sure.
going to be faster. I think it's going to be more dramatic. I think it's got more action. I think it's going to be great.
Oh yeah,
And then Scream, I'm excited because I think that, I think that people, the fans have been excited about Stu coming back. He's back. And I think I think it's in good hands with Nev and Kevin at the helm. So again, I think, both of them are big films and I'm excited about their future.
for sure. We saw a bunch of Five Nights at Freddy's stuff at CinemaCon, and it looked crazy. And I've heard a lot about what you're doing in Scream 7, and I'm very excited to see how that unfolds. They're giving me the wraps, so thank you so, so much for sharing your
Yeah,
time
you're
with me.
welcome, man. You're
I
lovely.
love
Thank
this.
you for the
I love
invite.
this movie. I love your work. Movies meant so much to me growing up. Seriously, thank you. Can't wait to see you in Daredevil, Carrie, Scream, everything you got coming up.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, thanks, man.
All right, bye bye.